full crowd, Bogey.
Woo! Okay, simmer down. Jamaicans. Yeah.
Jamaica horns.
Welcome to the first edition of the Mooey Hour. I am your host, Bogard Scott-Free, here with my brother from another, B. Franklin. What's happening, Franklin?
What it do, my
Everything's
guy?
Mooey?
Everything is always extra Mooey.
Yeah. Right out the gate, want to shout out our sponsor, Bay Boy Clothing, and their sister company, Bay Girl Clothing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all in the world. It is Friday. Y'all probably be hearing this, and it'll be Saturday. But you know what I'm saying? We just happy to be alive. Jamaican horns.
Jamaica motherfucking horns.
The Mooey Hour is it's gonna show you that everything's Mooey, and by the definition of the word Mooey, it means vary, and that's what this show is. It will vary from subject to subject, but we're gonna hit you with that real ism that, you know what I'm saying, straight from the minds of some of the most underrated, greatest thinkers of this world.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying?
Very, very true. That's what. You know what, Bogey? I'm gonna toast to that.
Yeah.
Take a sip to
what
that.
we toast to? Good health and wealth.
Oh man, good
all
health,
that.
good
you know
wealth,
what I'm saying?
man. Positive
Success.
vibes, man. You know, peace and love to the people, man. You know, positive vibes and love to them too. You know, this is just the outlook on us to the world. You know,
Even the fuck boys.
Oh man, even the fuck boys. Those are especially the fuck boys and fuck girls.
They might need some of this good positive energy.
They need all the direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can hopefully get them on the right track, man. You know what I'm saying? There's too much infections and not enough redirection, man. But we gonna do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, check this out. On the first edition of the show, you know what I'm saying, we have a couple or a couple topics of conversation, and we're gonna hit it right out the gate with the term "real ones."
You know, for us over, what's a real nigga? You know what I'm saying? What makes a real nigga?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Real ones, real nigga. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I say real ones because it's a more broad terminology.
Gotcha.
It's the same thing. Okay. Let's start. What's your definition of a real one or a real nigga? Like,
you know what, man? When I was younger, I might have gave you an ignorant term, but right about now in life, man, on how people are so shady, and the shadiness has gotten even worse with this motherfucking internet vanity. That man, just somebody.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm pulling the internet vanity.
Exactly, heavy on the
You know
booze.
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Heavy on the booze. But ultimately, people.
You good?
People got it fucked up as far as in.
I agree.
There's no code. There's no understanding. And if there is, and the code is always there. What is that people do not stick to the script. You know what I mean? They want to be poster kids in Hollywood and everything is for the gram and the picture, but the substance is gone. So to me, right about now in life, a real one to me, or a real nigga or a real individual to me, is somebody who just keeps their word. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is
Jamaican horns.
Stupid Jamaica horns.
We're going one more back to back.
And because it's hard to just find people who keep their word nowadays, man. I mean, even if shit ain't going
ain't
right,
lying.
can you just tell me it's not going right?
Right?
I mean, that's all we ask for. I mean, at least that's all I ask for. So when I hear about a real nigga, real individual, real whatever, at this point in today's day, 2019, to me, it's just somebody who keeps their word.
I'm gonna backpack you on that. Pause. Right? A real one is definitely someone who keeps their word. Someone who because a lot of people who claim to be real ones or throw that term around loosely,
right?
They'll be like, "I'm a real one. You need to take heed to my word." When half the time when people throw around that terminology, they don't even uphold what they say.
Right.
They don't even practice what they preach. And then motherfuckers can be labeled preachy. I mean,
we all fall victim to not being people who practice what they preach. This is true. We're all human. You know what I'm saying? I fall victim to it.
Jamaican horns to that. I agree.
The problem is that can you just fucking be honest and say you can't do it? And if you do fuck up, can you just apologize? Can you just be empathetic on how you would want to be empathetic? Because the amount
instead
of
of trying to play
disrespect,
instead of trying to play the victim role,
right? Because you're ashamed, or you think that your little ego's gonna get bruised. Like, to me, a relationship with somebody is worth more than my little ego getting bruised. You know what I mean? Because we're humans. If I love you like you family.
Yeah,
and I can't
brothers
get rid
from
of
another.
Right, and I can't get rid of my family. I can get mad at you and not talk to you for a little bit, but I can't get rid of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
And
ultimately,
and that's something a real one would do. Not give up on people that matter to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And and then on the flip side, someone who claims to be a real one, they wouldn't do their loved ones in any of these fashions that quote unquote break the code.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But now, even still, if it does, now we ain't talking about snitching and shit like that.
Yeah. We're talking
about just backstabbing, fuck boy, fuck girl shit amongst each other, scandalous. You know what I'm saying? This is the last, glass of milk. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I have to have it and not you shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always tell a motherfucker, I do shady shit with my people to come up. I don't do shady shit to my people to come up. You know what I'm
Jamaicans,
saying?
we fight the establishment. You know what I'm saying? Man, I like that. You know what's crazy too is like in the music industry too. They use the term real one or real nigga or whatever you want, whatever have you, and they throw it around and it's part of a persona. You know what I'm saying? Part of a persona. It's kind of like the ones who yell out "gang gang" and they really not really on no gang shit.
Right.
But if you ask them, they'll be like, "Well, technically, it's me and the crew. It's the gang." And it's like, we come from an era where it's like you don't holler that gang shit unless you banging for real because you look like a clown. Because people that were really banging back in the days, they take that shit serious.
But this is the thing, though, man. And once again, I have to say we have to come back to the modern times, and it's about evolution and being aware of your surroundings. And today's day, the social media got everybody fucked up.
Real talk.
And it's the saddest part about the whole thing is that, you know what I'm saying?
That people might not know who they really are.
To really just intimately connect with somebody, we have evolved from a rehabilitative, emotionally society, meaning that we have each other's back and nurturing and taught to love each other to a day of, we're so fucking caught up in how the picture is gonna look so perfect,
how it's gonna be perceived, or the reception it's gonna get from people, and
that you forgot about your character.
Exactly.
And you're more worried about perception than you're worried about your character. So you know what I mean? Any bump in the road, you know what I mean? Again, it gets to that scandalous shit. But let me ask you, Bogard, what does that mean to you? What is being a real nigga, a real woman, or whatever it may be? What does that mean to you?
I think it's to me, to make a long story longer, it's really about just somebody who takes care of theirs.
Right.
You know what I mean? And also takes care of themselves because, you know what I'm saying? Like, there could, there is a breed of people that I used to be of this ilk where I did everything and anything to take care of my fam, but I wasn't taking care of myself too as well. Which kind of goes to, when we were off air and you were posting your quote of the day, which is "Love thyself." And I was feeling that because, before I started loving of course, the love I have for my family, that's unconditional. My kids, all that shit, that goes without saying.
Right.
But, it was like I was willing to do so much crazy shit or even some shit that would be considered fuck shit at one point in my life, just so I could feed my children. But, it became a point became a point in my life where I wanted to prove it to myself that I could value myself.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because then if
perception,
and that's because of the perception from my children looking up to the Pop L's. You know what I
Correct.
mean? Like I want them to be able to want to take care of themselves too and not feel anything hopeless. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think a real one projects that on everyone around them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, in the industry or the streets, you know what I'm saying? A real one, the definition of it's kind of fucked up because it's like a real one is like someone who commits the crimes they talk about.
Right. But
you know what I mean?
saying? But to me, again, like I have to say, we have to bring it to content and modern content, 2019. And we're looking at it through the bifocals of what the media and these youngsters are showing. But you gotta remember, we're still in this motherfucking race too. This is how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? We're still in this race too. So our word and our things count. But as far as the majority of like the slack and shit, I understand what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let me ask you something. In the race, this is stupid because you're saying we're blowing off some good, and I kind of started laughing in my head. Here's the question:
Let's go.
In the race, who wins, the tortoise or the hare?
Hey man, You know what? It's the motherfucker who followed their dream. And at the end of the day, it's not about that money. It's about following your dream and being satisfied
and getting. You know what? So I'll say the tortoise then, because it's kind of like in the game.
Oh, you're moving through it slow. You're appreciating it.
Yeah, and you still get to where you're going. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you're not so much in a rush. It's the slow nickel versus the fast quarter.
Amen.
You know what I mean? I feel like, you know what I mean. You get that fast money. It won't last money. You know what I'm saying? But the slow nickel.
No, don't get it twisted.
Yeah, it's true.
No,
we love it.
Money
we love it.
Don't last money. It comes down to education of money. See, I feel this. We have a lack of education on what money is. You know what I'm saying? Stupid Jamaica horns. Let's take a sip of the beer. You know
but give me money.
Yeah, give me money.
Yeah.
I think it's from a lack of education. I think that money is taught in the home. And we're not taught on a social level through school, starting with the first manipulation of the brain.
For real, like right? What is economics? What do they teach you? Nothing.
So I think they should be teaching kids fresh out of preschool coming in, baby steps in what financial is and what money is. And if we taught, if we taught kids from little how to use money, and teach them how to, how money works for you.
Yeah.
You don't work for money. I think that we would see a whole new financial generation, but you got to have chiefs and you got to have Indians for workers. And, ultimately, that's what it is. So, I feel that if we taught financial education, right, as far as what money is, you know what I mean? You need to physically understand what money is.
I think to sum up what you're saying too is values.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause especially in this industry, like, okay, how about this? Look at young ladies right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the young ladies, you know what I'm saying? Hope this isn't y'all, but yeah. But young ladies on social media, you know what I'm saying? They could flash some ass and then you know what I'm saying? Or post, butt ass half naked pictures and shit, and they can get on. You know what I mean? Like, because you know what I'm saying?
Because we always know, man, again, I will say it's evolution. Mm-hmm. Again, it all starts from, we had motherfucking whores. The whores had to evolve because the game evolved. They had saloons. Mm-hmm. Saloons stopped, right? So then
brothels and shit.
So then they had went few. So then they had to figure out how to do it next. There was the era of the telephone, right? Mm-hmm. So then now you're in the paper. You got to advertise. You're walking these strips. You're doing these things, right?
And also, throughout the decades of pimping too. You know what I mean?
Also, but not even just all the pimping, because you know what I'm saying. Like, a woman doesn't necessarily need a pimp when it comes to this industry. Because
that's what I'm saying. Like, when that's where the evolution comes too. Now, women, not to say they're pimping themselves, but by definition, they're selling.
It's the same
sex
genre, but it's the same
visually,
genre. It's just a different outlet.
Even like getting it, like, you know what I'm saying, ladies can get endorsements and shit, and like, you know what I mean, like it's crazy because here's to bring me full circle, because what I was talking about value, it's like for some of these ladies, you know what I'm saying, they get it so fast, they get in the paper so fast, even the ones that might even be working them high-end strip clubs, they getting the money so fast that the value isn't really there, because they can make it back fast.
Correct.
And you know what I'm saying, and then also in material things, I love name brand shit and all that shit like that.
But you know what, man, we're gonna have to get some young ladies in here to come in on that aspect.
Yeah, because they'll argue me like a motherfucker.
Who are professional dancers, man. That's gonna have to be one of our shows, man.
I got you know what I'm saying? We're gonna put that. Hold on, let me put this on the notes. Hold on. Show with.
This is how you know it's
professional.
Real. Hit pause.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm taking notes.
Show
live.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, okay. Mm-hmm. This is episode 1 of the Mooey Hour, where everything is mooey.
Stupid Jamaica horns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So hold on. Before we put a bow on that one, back to the real ones thing, just to tie that one up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's also gonna. I'm gonna relate this from your quote of the day. I'm gonna reference this again. You know what I mean? Like where you said, "Love thyself." It's also be true to yourself. On social media. Right. You know what I mean? If you're a real one, I mean the real one. Another definition to me is just in its in its rawest form, you're just real. Like the person you project out there is
be
really
you.
you. Don't be afraid
Right.
if what you like isn't trending or the way you dress or the funny shit you like to post. You know what I mean? Or like fuck
Be the
it.
best you. Like who
gives a fuck about what anyone else says?
I always say if a motherfucker don't like me, you just weak.
Or you not a real one.
No, you're just garbage. You just a hating motherfucker. Because all
He's
I want
just
to do
trash.
is just kick it, love people. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how we can help each other to advance. You know what I'm saying? But every time I've ever
each
came
one
across,
teach one, all that
every
shit.
time I ever came across a person who was blameless, it's because they've been a hater. Ultimately, they've been a hater. They wish that they're always a person that wishes they could be in somebody's position. They wish they got the same concept, but they don't want to put the work in, so they're looking at you doing.
So you mean they're entitled?
Oh,
you see, like
let's take this one right here, right? So listen,
you see what I did there?
Let's take it to the.
Go ahead. Go let them know about the subject
Also,
matter,
man,
the topic of the conversation that you wanted to bring up.
I wanted to bring up the subject of fucking entitlement, man. As far as when these fucking kids, these motherfucking women, you know what I'm saying? The fucking entitlement with this shit. You know, and I'm gonna have to ultimately blame it on the fellas. You know what I'm saying?
Elaborate.
As far as when it comes to you know, because at the end of the day, you know, actually, I can't even put it on the fellas.
Okay.
Man. Let me take that back. I gotta put that
we
just on
we can put it on a lot. Okay. Do you think the popularity of simping, this kind of correlates with what we were talking about with whores and pimping and shit like that?
No, you're dealing.
This is the opposite end.
Right. We're dealing with this pussy shit in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you got dealing with a lot. Not everybody's a physical person, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, regardless if you want to believe it or not, man, you know, it's deep. It's always
not everybody's
been
a physical person.
It's always been the fucking, you know, the strongest survive.
Yeah.
And you know, society wants to try to take that away.
The weakest gain up right now. That's the day and age we live in.
Right. And the
weakest got a voice because they got numbers too.
No. They need to, everybody deserves to have a voice. The problem is, right?
Word.
You don't need to tell me that I'm wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you come and violate me and I fuck you up, put my hands on you and sock you up. Because at the end of the day, you have violated my space, my whatever, and you automatically know. The problem is that they want to take it away from us, but then they want to use it upon us. You know what I'm saying? Like the police, they'll tell you, you can't punch somebody, you can't shoot somebody, you can't detain somebody.
But they're entitled to do so.
But this is exactly what they're doing. They're fucking harassing you. Right. You're getting harassed. I'm not saying I am, but once upon a time in my life as a black male, yes, you know what I'm saying, I have fucking experienced this shit where, you know, you're just dealing with an individual who ultimately doesn't like that you feel that,
like you're feeling yourself.
Right. No, like for them, you're cocky, but you're just happy and you just know who you are, and nobody can tell you who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't come over here and look at me and tell me, oh, you're a piece of shit, bitch ass motherfucker. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm not gonna go home and believe it and this and that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking to somebody with assurance of who you are, it's a different type of energy.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I felt like they felt like, you know, me asking a question was me showing, you know, aggression and putting my chest up when I'm just asking a motherfucking question. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so why are you pulling me over? Automatically, you flip to giving me attitude and being fucking rude.
Yeah.
So I have no right to act, you know? So again, you know, back to the entitlement shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's just a lot of fucking entitlement where people forget that we're all humans. You know what I mean? Police officers, they forget that they're just stewards to the public.
I got a breakdown on it, in specifics. You know what I'm talking about? Like with children, I feel like children that are entitled, it's the parents to blame.
Stupid to blame.
You know what I'm saying? Spoiled children. You know what I mean? Like and look at. I would love to be able to spoil my kids, but to tie back in what we were saying earlier, you know what I'm saying? I was taught value of shit. So it's hard to just blow this good money.
I feel like let your kids be rude in your house, When your kids are in public, you need to have your kids under control. You don't need to be looking at everybody else.
I'll flash on my children
You can't
if they're trying to
else.
get crazy in public for real, because and then my girl, she hates that shit. She's like, help people looking at you. I'll be like, look, listen, good. So they could feel that this is what that looks, this is what that feels like. I'm a good father. You know what I mean? When you mouthing off on me, you didn't learn that from me.
Right.
And I get it, like, I got a preteen, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? She's bold. I see a lot of me in her. I also see a lot of her mom in her. You know what I'm saying? Because from everything that I taught her, I see that. But from everything she learned, she got that from my girl. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Or from school. With them other little snot-nosed motherfuckers. You know, them little badass babies.
Or you know what I'm saying? Other people's, baby's kids that's around them and shit. Like, kids get influenced, you know what I'm saying? Because it is boring if I'm the child and they try, like when my dad, when I was growing up, that motherfucker always preached like having to earn some shit. You know what I mean? Because even if he had gifted it to me, he'll just clown. Look at, you see, other kids don't have that shit. You know what I mean? And I didn't give it to your ass. You know what I mean? You didn't even work for it. And I tried, that kind of got instilled in me. You know what I mean? Because first of all, that's why I say it's the parents. Because, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for my parents and my father in general, instilling that type of shit in me, you know what I mean? I might have been approaching shit different.
For me, it was installing of the ass whoopings I got.
Oh, yeah,
you
word.
Feel me?
Oh, yeah, I learned the hard way.
I got 3 older brothers, and then I'm the youngest, and then we got 1 woman, and that's mom's, R.I.P., you know what I'm saying?
Yep. God bless.
But it's crazy that, you know what I'm saying? Even my mom, she used to be like, no punk stuff. Like, you can't, it's not that you're being soft, but you got to hold your character. You gotta learn to have a game face. You gotta know how to stand. You gotta know how to hold your position. You know what I'm saying? You can't be weak and feeble and then feel that society has to accept that you're weak and feeble when you're perfectly able. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck does it have to do with your spirit? Now, if your kid is feeling that they're a victim all the time, well, you need to check your kid's spirit and check yourself and see back at home on what type of dysfunction you got going on at the crib that got your kid feeling like they ain't being loved.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's the real deal.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. You can't buy a child's love neither. Children are smart. If you buy some shit to shut them up, they gonna go hard till you buy them some shit.
Every single fucking time. And those are the little privileged motherfuckers that are feeling that they're entitled.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And their parents are always making excuses for them versus, you know what? I need to check this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, I ain't gonna lie.
My mom used to tap my ass. I was mischief like a motherfucker, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Get
like,
her ass
like hand straight up. But I understood. You know what I'm saying? Ass whoopings was coming. It just came to a point after a while that I had to start, you know what I mean? Like when you're a kid, you just do fucking stupid shit because you just want to fucking laugh. You're mischief. You know what I'm saying? Egg motherfuckers and, fight and, just mischief, being boys, man. You know what I'm saying? But today's day, these kids don't got, the respect is fucked up.
There's a lack of respect. If it's not disrespect, there's a lack of respect.
They got to lightweight look at you like you're a figure for you to get some respect, when it should just be some respect on you, just human to human.
You know what's crazy too is like it's also like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of idolization. Is that a word?
Yes, I don't know.
If it isn't, then fuck it. I made one up. Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people, like a lot of children that idolize these motherfuckers that come up overnight. They make it where it's like that Ryan Toy kid shit, right? I mean, I had my 6-year-old, you know what I'm saying? I remember when she was like 4 years old, she was like,
I don't even know who that is.
It's a little kid, he started reviewing toys, right? Ryan's Toy Review, and this fool makes like 7 M's a month now. He's been popping, and now he has his own toy line.
Bingo.
See, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just see,
the
see, Great American Dream right there.
Yeah. You know but I'm just saying though, other children are influenced by this shit.
Right.
And you know what I mean? No, but I'm talking about like there's a negative aspect of it too.
Oh, tell me
because it looks like they're not, as a child you're seeing it from the outside looking in when you don't know what the machine behind it. Correct. The parents that and then the editing and all the shit. Right. That little kid wasn't doing none of that. He was just the star of said show.
Right. He's
you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that's kind of part of the entitlement. Maybe that kid might be the most entitled kid ever. He goes to Disneyland, he shuts it down.
No,
you know what I mean? No, but I'm just saying because that's the parent. But the parents though. Think about this.
No, but that's part of the persona. So you don't necessarily know because let me tell you something.
You're right. I'll give you that.
If they're running this shit and they're running it consistently, there's discipline over there. Okay,
Yeah.
he ain't just slacking and give it to me. No. Okay, it might look like that.
I'm Ryan.
Right.
This is Ryan. Look at the sign. Ryan's toy review.
Negative. You feel me? Right about now, you done became a business and you didn't even know it. Your parents done turned you into a business.
But see,
right?
I feel the same way. How about this? I feel the same way with artists in the game now.
Same shit.
Like, because they can make it happen overnight. Like, do some fuck shit that creates some clout for them, and then and then overnight they blow up.
What do you think about this little? What do you think about this little fucking puto boy that's about to come home, dog?
Who?
You know what I'm saying?
The 6ix9ine kid.
Yes, man.
Oh man, you know what I think? Honestly, he's gonna come out. Things are gonna cool off a little bit, and then his little cult following will still come to his shows, and he'll release new music. And like now, snitching because snitching is the thing. Like there's no. Come on, you know what, dog? With the like when I ask my younger cousins and shit that be hollering out that gang shit, and they ain't really banging shit, but like I get it. It's them and they boys. They have their little gang signs they throw up and shit, and like, but long story longer, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like. They don't care about that shit.
No, not where I'm at.
No, they're not on that shit. Like,
not that shit. No, I feel you. They're not on that, but shit, not in my world. Even the motherfuckers that square in my family, we let them know, man. Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying?
You know what? Here's the thing
play?
too.
You want to play?
I remember one time my daughter. I heard my daughter holler that shit out one time. She was like to her sister, like, "Oh, you snitched on me," and I had to sit her down and said, snitching is when people do a crime together and one person gets in trouble and then make sure everyone gets in trouble with them. I'm like, she tattled on you. That's just telling what you did.
Right.
I want them to know that, because that's like, it's kind of like one of those things. Like, I don't even want that in their vernacular, because that's a word. You know,
right? No,
I'm a father of two daughters.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Where it's like,
I got you. And that's where, motherfuckers have to understand, like, if you're a square and you're upholding, everyday lifestyle and you're not committing type of crime, you know what I'm saying? Then I understand you're reporting crimes. You know what I'm saying? I understand.
Yeah, you're a civilian.
Yeah, I understand.
You're a civilian.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
Or you're in the workplace.
But don't act like you're cut from the cloth.
No, but if you're in the street, you in the streets, doing street shit.
You ever
right? You in the streets doing street shit. Hey, that rule all the way fucking applies.
Okay, how about remember Carlito's Way? Mm-hmm. Remember his Jewish lawyer,
right?
You know what I'm saying? When Carlito got out, he got him out, and by that time, them 6 years, he became like a little big fish in a small pond.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
And then when he figured out what he was doing, first of all, he didn't want nothing to do with the streets. When he came back, remember, he was, I need $75 grand,
right?
And I'm gonna go to the Bahamas,
right?
And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then this, this motherfucker. He was on some gang shit, and he told him, he said like this, he said, "Hey, no, you ain't a lawyer, you a gangster now."
Yeah, right.
And he said, "But hey, in this world, there's no late starts."
Yeah, there ain't.
And and that's what that Tekashi 6ix9ine kid was. He was like a kid that like he started popping and getting in the music game and getting into these certain circles.
Right.
And these motherfuckers, they got their hands on him and they wanted to exploit him, and they had him doing some gang shit where now he was implicated too, and it was like, "No, you in now, little blood."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you win. And it was like, when the shit hit the fan because he was too high profile. See, and that's another thing too, is like
all for the gram. Come on, dog. You seen how that fool was out there stunting? Let me tell you something, dog. If he was really about that life, really about that life, he would have been catching all those fades. Pull up, homie. And honestly, he would have caught fists with those fools.
And he just knew how to manipulate the internet.
Yeah, the internet.
You know what I mean? Like what's funny is
people are so bored, my guy.
Yeah.
And they're so bored and not even willing to really focus on themselves and just. Dog, they're stuck to the TVs, to the phones, all these things.
Screens.
Look, period, dog. And their brains are being molded. Like, dog, how many, there's only so many people that go out to, national parks and go hiking and shit like that. Like, I go hiking and shit every once in a while. And when I'm out there, man, it's not like what it used to be.
You know what? I miss nature. My closest connection to nature is like every so often I'll get on some shrooms and shit. You know what I mean? And just and you know what I mean? And be one with the earth. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I'm gonna. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? But no, that's something you got to do though. So you got to go out there and
I can't do no shrooms. So I don't know.
No. I'm talking about getting out there in the nature and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because and bring the kids out. You know why? Because the kids, they got the nature app. They're like, you know what I'm saying?
No, honestly, not even.
Ready to chill right now.
We remember that we walked this earth barefoot. once upon a time, man, like we're connected to, this is just, once again, dog, who the fuck am I? I'm just on here, I'm just the guy on here giving my fucking opinion to you guys, man. That's it. That's all I am. B. fucking Franklin. But my opinion is we're all connected to the fucking earth, man. And I think that we need to feel the earth. I feel that, the same way how we came, we go back to the earth and become one with this shit. When we die, our bodies decompose. You know what I mean?
And we go back to the earth. Right? You see how he did that? And honestly, see how he did that, Moe gang?
And honestly, too, I honestly feel that our bodies need to be buried just in the regular dirt. Because I feel like our molecular structure, or whatever the molecular structure.
I couldn't spell that word.
I feel that me neither. But
I know what the fuck it means.
Right.
I can spell molecular. God damn it.
I feel that we go back to the earth and help to make the earth strong again. It's all part of the circle of life, and I feel like us putting ourselves in these boxes, we might be robbing the earth of nutrients.
Hey, you know what's ironic? What you just said is we put ourselves in these boxes, and to come full circle of what we were talking about this episode 1 of the Moe Hour. You know what I'm saying? To bring full circle, what we were saying is that we put ourselves in these boxes, and digitally even. You know what I'm saying? We're in these little 3,000 by whatever fucking pixelated fucking boxes and of the avatar of what they want to project themselves for people to think who they are. Right. And you know what I'm saying? And you know what? Maybe there is a good percentage of folks out there that they really put who they are on the gram, like me and you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're not gonna see no fuck shit from me.
I haven't. I'm really like when I'm on the gram, I haven't posted shit in hella long.
Okay.
I'm more like a looker. I'm going through just looking at things and seeing what's going on. In
as one of the world's greatest ponderers.
Yes.
B. Franklin.
Yes.
No, okay. All right, we'll close it out with this one right here. I got one. This one's on the fly. Okay. So like, what do you feel about like when you see your boy on the gram, right? And I'm not saying your boy like per se, but just any people we know, and we know what they do, and they just showing like things on the gram. You get what I'm saying?
And so you're saying that they're fronting?
No, well, okay, those ones too. The ones that be friend, but also the ones that really be doing their thing.
Right.
And it's maybe not super major, but they just showing this shit, showing bands and showing. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, honestly, I don't give a fuck.
You know what I do? I stopped following those motherfuckers.
Right, listen, I don't give a fuck because it's not me. And if that's what you want to do, and that's what fucking makes you happy, I don't give a fuck. I might, like I said, I'm scrolling through. You're
just a looking.
Like you said, I'm just a looking. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
I'm just a looking, passing through. You know what I mean? As long as you're not sitting there with your wank out, you know what I'm saying? Then if I see some shit like that, I'm for sure skipping you.
Hey, motherfuckers getting flagged like that.
No, but off top, like that's where I'm hitting you with some. I'm not fucking with.
Hey, you know what's crazy is
you know what I'm saying? You're doing some weirdo shit to me.
Shout out to the homeboy Dilly, right? He works at Facebook, and that's what he's looking for all day.
Hey, I want to know
fuck shit posts.
Hey, I want to know what's up, ladies. Hit me on my premium snap. You feel me? Hey, say hit your boy on that premium snap.
Yeah. He'll DM you the invoice.
I got that show going for you, Bayboy 711. You know what I'm saying? I got that private show. You know what I'm saying? For that premium, I'm just trying to get like you guys. I see the hustle. I admire it, ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cash at me.
Let him know, Franklin.
Cash at me.
Oh, he's being frank. He's
cash
like, let me be frank, ladies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Cash at me. I'm just trying to be like you ladies. You know what I'm saying? It's all enterprise. LLC. The Give Me Money Network. LLC. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Bayboy, Baby Clothing. You know
hey, and once again, shout out to our sponsor, Bayboy Clothing.
Bay Girl Clothing.
Bay Girl Clothing. You know what I'm saying? Give me money. Yeah. You know what I mean?
If you ain't got your sports hats or apparels from them yet, for the Bay Area teams, man, I'm just saying you slacking, man.
Let them know the handle.
You know what I'm saying?
Let them know the handle on the Bay Girl,
Bay Boy Clothing Co. You know what I'm saying? At Facebook, Instagram,
on all the
same thing.
Yeah.
Bay Clothing Company. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's where you'll find the latest in these fashions, and you should be able to DM them on there and whatnot. But you know what I mean? I wish y'all could see me right now and see my man Bogard. You know what I'm saying? He's over here in the fresh Niner. You know what I mean? Piece with the
rocking
all
that
black,
clean
you know,
from the
black
Bay,
and
from
red.
straight from Bay Boy.
Yeah, he got that.
You know what I
Bay Boy
mean?
hat on, the black and red. You know, he's a Niner fan. You know, I got
Shout out to all my Niners. Bang, bang, Niner gang. You know what? And as y'all like to call us whiners, but I'm going to send some love to the Raiders too.
Right,
You know what I mean? The black and silver, they doing their thing, Raider Nation.
And I'm
You know
over
what I
here,
mean?
you know, in that gray and black, you know, Raider hat. You know what it is.
Yeah. And check this out. This has been the historic first episode. Ooh! Go crazy, people.
Go crazy.
The first episode of the Mooey Hour.
Hey, man, thank you.
Follow
Thank
us
everybody.
at the GMM Network. Follow me at Bogard Scott Free. Where they
Thank
gonna
you,
find
guys.
you at, Franklin?
Man, you can just find me when you find me, but you can find me right back here next week on the Gimme Money Network.
Woo!
Right here on the Mooey Hour. Let's go.